A shadow over India, the threat to women's safety. India, a land of vibrant culture and rich heritage, bears a dark secret. It's a country where millions of women live in fear, their safety constantly under threat. Sexual violence against women is a pervasive issue, casting a long shadow over India's progress. From the bustling streets of its megacities to its rural heartland, women face harassment, assault, and abuse. This isn't just a matter of statistics. It's a human rights crisis that demands urgent attention. Every day, countless women are denied their basic right to live with dignity and security. This essay will delve into the complexities of this issue, examining the cultural norms, societal attitudes, and systemic failures that perpetuate this cycle of violence. We will explore the challenges women face in accessing justice and the deep-rooted stigma that often silences their voices. But beyond exposing these harsh realities, this essay also aims to empower. It seeks to equip women with practical steps for personal safety and provide information on available support systems. The fight for women's safety in India is far from over. It requires a collective effort, a societal awakening that challenges deeply ingrained patriarchal norms. It calls for a justice system that protects victims and holds perpetrators accountable. Most importantly, it demands that we, as a nation, break the silence and stand in solidarity with the countless women who deserve a future free from fear. It's time to acknowledge the pervasiveness of this issue and work towards creating a safer India for all women. Let's join hands to shed light on this darkness and pave the way for a brighter, safer future.
Deep roots of inequality, culture and patriarchy. To understand the violence women face in India, we must confront the deeply entrenched patriarchal norms that permeate our society. For generations, cultural narratives have often reinforced a power imbalance, placing men in positions of authority while relegating women to subservient roles. This deep-seated inequality manifests itself in various ways, from restricting women's access to education and economic opportunities to dictating their choices in marriage and personal life. Traditional gender roles, while celebrated as part of our cultural fabric, often serve to limit women's agency and freedom. The expectation for women to be submissive, obedient daughters, wives, and mothers leaves them vulnerable to control and abuse. Deviation from these prescribed roles is often met with resistance, judgment, and even violence. Furthermore, a culture of silence often surrounds issues of sexual violence. Families and communities, instead of confronting abusers, may prioritize preserving honor by silencing victims, or even blaming them for the violence inflicted upon them. This fear of social stigma prevents many women from reporting crimes or seeking help, allowing perpetrators to act with impunity. Addressing the issue of women's safety requires dismantling these deeply ingrained patriarchal structures. It necessitates a societal shift that challenges traditional gender roles and promotes gender equality in all spheres of life. Empowering women through education, economic independence, and legal awareness is crucial in dismantling these power imbalances and creating a safer society for all. It's time to challenge these norms and create a society that values and respects women as equal partners in every aspect of life.
Shifting the blame, the trauma of victim blaming. Imagine surviving a horrific ordeal, only to be questioned, doubted, and even blamed for the violence inflicted upon you. This is the harsh reality for countless women in India who face the additional trauma of victim blaming. Instead of receiving support and empathy, they are often subjected to a barrage of questions that shift the blame from the perpetrator to the victim. Their clothing, their behavior, their choices, everything is scrutinized, as if somehow they were responsible for inviting the abuse. This deep-rooted societal tendency to blame the victim is a significant obstacle to achieving justice and ensuring women's safety. It perpetuates a culture of shame and silence, discouraging women from reporting crimes or even speaking out about their experiences. The questions themselves reflect deeply ingrained biases. Why was she out so late? What was she wearing? Why didn't she fight back? These questions are not asked out of genuine concern but stem from a desire to find fault with the victim and exonerate the perpetrator. This not only adds to the trauma of the survivors, but also reinforces the power imbalance that allows sexual violence to persist. Challenging victim blaming requires a fundamental shift in societal attitudes. We must foster a culture of empathy and support for survivors, recognizing that the responsibility for sexual violence lies solely with the perpetrator. It's time to stop questioning victims and start holding perpetrators accountable for their actions. Only then can we create a society where survivors feel safe to come forward and seek justice.